Your heart rate can get pretty high in 30 seconds.
What are the goals for this week? I want another 15-hour training week between running and biking, 60 miles of running, 2 high-quality workouts. 1 will be an uphill treadmill session, and 1 will be the long run, 2 days of strides. Right now to start, got a banana and a coffee, stretch out for a little bit, and then we have anywhere between 10 and 12 miles this morning with 6 times 30-second hill strides.
Just about 2 miles in, keeping it nice and aerobic. Gonna go head home, and Issa, my wife, is gonna join me on the bike. We're gonna head out for some more miles. Beautiful out here. Super sunny, a few little clouds, getting a nice tan. Can't ask for much more. For this run, we're not taking any fuel during it. I took a banana before for breakfast, and then in the run, I'm not going very hard, so I didn't really need the fuel. But when we get home, there'll be 100 grams of oats and a scoop of protein powder. All right, 9 miles in. Issa's joining us right now. We're gonna do 6 by 30-second hill strides. 5 more.
How was it?
Good. Your heart rate can get pretty high in 30 seconds. And the hill's steep.
One more.
Come on. Oh. Yes, thank you.
We just smacked down a coffee and a banana a little bit ago. About to go on a little bike ride. Kind of tore it up on the bike ride yesterday. It was like 2 hours and 45 minutes. So we're just going to go out and spin for about an hour 20, hour 30 on the bike. And we're probably going to bring some more carbs than we brought yesterday because I definitely bonked a little bit.
The main goal for today is our 10 by 5 minute uphill treadmill threshold session with 2 minutes rest. So once I get home from this, I'm going to eat, sit in the compression boots. This afternoon is the big session. So it's actually one of 2 key sessions this week. So one of the most important workouts, this and then the long run on Saturday. Really putting a lot of emphasis on this and hopefully gonna jump up the fitness another bump. And I really think these long threshold sessions are really moving the needle on my fitness right now.
Ride went well. It was an hour and 26 minutes at a normalized power of 197. So good start to the day. Didn't create too much fatigue, which means we'll be able to come into this afternoon threshold workout, hopefully feeling pretty good, and then smash it. So the goals for the rest of this morning are just refuel, get the legs feeling good. So we'll do 100 grams of oats, scoop protein powder, and then I'll probably throw in a couple eggs as well just to boost up that protein.
Wednesday morning, my legs definitely very tired, but they feel good, just like I got a bunch of work in them. So the goal for today is just some light work, eat a lot of food, try to get my legs to recover as best we can. Not a huge emphasis on work today. So I'm out here shaking the legs out, just getting some blood flow through them. But I wanted to run through yesterday's treadmill workout. So yesterday's treadmill workout was 20 minutes warm up, 10 by 5 minutes at threshold with 2 minutes rest between reps, and then about a 15-minute cool down. So last week we did 8 by 5 minutes. Today we added 2 reps. We started off at the same pace we did last week, and I noticed my heart rate was a lot lower. I was staying in the 150s instead of bumping up and staying in the 160s, even at the same speed. I would say on average, probably about 5 beats lower per rep for the same pace. Temperatures were about the same. It's actually a little hotter this week. We do all the reps at an 8% grade. So for the first 4 reps, we started at 7 miles an hour, which is about an 8:30 pace. My heart rate stayed at about mid to high 150s for all of those reps. I only saw it tick over into 160 a couple times, and those were only for a couple seconds during those first 4 reps. On rep number 5, I started bumping the speed up, and I would bump it up 0.1 every time. So rep 5 was 7.1, rep 6 was 7.2, so on and so forth. And my heart rate kept building. It was honestly, it's a beautiful heart rate graph. Started spending some time in the low 160s and the mid 160s, and then by the final 2 to 3 reps, I started seeing some 170s. I peaked at 175 at the final rep. I brought it up to just under 7-minute pace for the final minute or so, which felt like I was hauling on an 8% grade. Mentally, it's a pretty tough workout. It's a lot of reps. 10 5-minute reps is a lot of time. It's 50 minutes of work. The first 4 were kind of easy, but then after that, started accumulating some fatigue in the legs and the heart rate started getting higher. For me, anything above about 165 heart rate is kind of painful. I think the quality of work you can get in on a treadmill is honestly insane. Uphill treadmill is kind of equivalent to the bike with the amount of work you can get done, but obviously it's much more applicable to running because it's the same motion essentially. And in trail running, you do a lot of running up hills, so it's perfect training. Next week, we're gonna push to 12 by 5 minutes. It'll be an hour threshold. I already saw jumps of fitness from last week to this week. I'm expecting to see it from this week to next week, and then next week, after 12 by 5 minutes, I'm sure there'll be another jump. After 12 by 5, we'll finish out that week, end on a good long run, and then we'll take a deload week, go down to about 50 miles. It's spring in Sacramento, which means it's beautiful, green, lush, birds are out, so life's good. About to go for hopefully my longest ride ever. So we're not going to push the watts too high, hopefully. And we're just going to go for time. We're looking for 4, 5, 6 hours, as much as the body can handle. So let's see how it goes. I'm about an hour and 45 minutes in, about 25 miles, averaging 189 watts, 201 normalized power. Stopped for an apple fritter, about hour and 15 minutes in. We're just cruising. We're probably got 10 miles to Auburn. On the bike with me, I brought 2 bottles, 2 Rice Krispie treats, and some gummies. In total, brought about 350 grams of carbs, and obviously I'm stopping to get some more. I'm sure that apple fritter had a good amount of carbs. So just trucking along, getting the miles in. Not super fast right now, about like 13 miles an hour. Mostly uphill on the way to Auburn. We made it to the Forest Hill Bridge, highest bridge in California. We're 2.5 hours in, done 35 miles so far, normalized power of 205. Been a lot of hills, not gonna lie. I'm kind of scared to go back down all those hills. Some of them were pretty steep. I'm not the most confident in my brakes or my bike handling ability. So we'll see how it goes. We're gonna take the flattest route back even if it takes longer. Just finished up the ride. It was a massive effort. Ended up doing 75 miles in just under 5 hours. Normalized power was 214, 3,200 kilojoules of work. I definitely didn't eat enough, but surprisingly, my legs feel good and I didn't bomb. I still have a good amount of my gummies. I ate the Rice Krispie treats, had that apple fritter, and then had my 2 bottles. So I consumed probably like 300 grams of carbs. Let's see how much was left in this. Yeah, so I consumed about half of the gummies. Probably averaged about 80 grams of carbs an hour, 70 to 80. That was my longest ride of all time. I set everything from 15-minute to 1 hour power PRs. My legs just kept feeling better and better. The last hour was my best hour, so that's good. Yeah, feeling super fit, starting to feel strong on the bike. Maybe it's time to start looking at signing up for some races in the next month or 2. Today I have 3 goals. Get as much time on feet as possible, do a couple strides, get a tan. That last one might be a hopeless cause, but the other 2 should be pretty easy to accomplish. I'm a little over 4 miles in right now. The legs are feeling surprisingly good considering the load we put them through yesterday. They're obviously a little tired, but I'm able to run fairly well. And I think my legs and quads especially are adapting to the added run volume, which is good. This is my 5th week of adding cycling in pretty heavily. And my legs are finally starting to come around where it's not smashing my runs too hard. So I'm comfortable adding in bike volume and pushing a little harder on the rides. Just finished the strides. Started with 2 flat strides, went into 3 hill strides, finished on 1 flat. The flats, first one didn't feel good, second one felt good, flowed really nicely, I felt in control. The 3 hill strides went really well, felt powerful, good numbers. And then the last flat stride felt a little frantic, like I couldn't get the turnover. Possibly like not having done a lot of fast turnover recently. So maybe got to start adding in a couple of strides on a slight downhill to help with that turnover. But because of those 3 hill strides, I think it was very productive. It's going to be a really good session. Just got about 1.5 miles of jogging to finish up. That'll be a sesh, probably a little over 12 miles. Just 1 session today, and then tomorrow we have our long run, around 17 miles. a little bit of quality in there.
I just woke up. We're kind of waking up, getting some food in, and then we're gonna head out for the long run. We got a bagel with some jam and honey, and then a coffee. We got somewhere between 16 and 18 miles on the cards. Definitely gotta bring a lot of water and a lot of carbs today. It's gonna be hot. So we're continuing to prep for the run. Just finished prepping our nutrition. We got 3 gels, about 180 grams of carbs, and then 1 bottle with about 20 grams of carbs. So the workout for today is kind of similar to last week. It'll be about 16 miles. Probably gonna do about 11 easy to moderate miles to start into 3 at threshold, and then minute on, minute off times 4, probably around that 5-minute pace, 5:15, somewhere in there. Yesterday on the flat stride, I didn't have really good turnover. They felt really powerful on the uphills, but I didn't feel like I had a lot of turnover on the flats. So we're gonna do some minute on, minute off, hit it hard, hit it fast, and hopefully get that turnover. So that's the plan.
Just over 4 miles in, took my first gel. Take the next one at 8 miles. Going good so far. Keeping it nice and aerobic in that moderate zone. Just over 8 miles, took the second gel. Definitely in that moderate zone right now. Got 3 more miles. And then we'll pick it up for a little faster than marathon pace. We got a quarter mile left until we start our 300 miles. At mile 12, we'll take our last gel, get some fueling in, or practice the fueling at the paces I'll need to fuel for on race days. 3 miles done. Ran them between marathon and half marathon effort. Ran the first 2 somewhere between 6:05 and 6:10, and the last one was a 6 flat. I think they're a little faster than I could do for a marathon right now. I started to fatigue a little on the last rep. I could tell, I could hold it for a while, but it's not something I could hold for 26 miles. A little slower than half marathon, I think. I think my legs just have a lot of general fatigue in them. This is my 5th week, right around 15 hours of training. This week will actually come out to 17 hours of training. So the body's under a lot of load. I'm not surprised. It didn't feel great, but considering the amount of work I've done this week, I'm really happy with how it went. Fitness is definitely improving, and hopefully we can stay healthy and just keep stacking these massive weeks. So now I've got to run 2 more miles to round out 60 for the week, and I'm gonna do 4 by minute on, minute off. Pretty hard. Trying to stay around probably 5:15, 5:20 pace. Four by minute on, minute off was a raging success. I wasn't sure how it was gonna go, but I went 5:15, 4:55, 4:54, 4:45. Starting the refuel right away. Nesquik, 0 sugar added, protein, chocolate milk, 190 calories, 4 grams of fat, 24 grams of carbs, 14 grams of protein. Right after a hard effort, there's nothing I crave more than chocolate milk. Even if I can't stomach anything else, I can always stomach chocolate milk. It was a good effort. It was right under 2 hours, about 1 hour and 55 minutes. I fueled the effort with 200 grams of carbs, and I had 100 grams of carbs for breakfast. So, carb intake has been really high so far today. That always helps me recover better and have better runs, which it was a good run. Nothing wrong with that. I try to make sure I don't overeat the rest of the day, because sometimes when I fuel before and during the run, it doesn't fill you up very much. So I can feel hungry the rest of the day. Because it was a huge effort, burned probably around 1,800 calories. But I've already consumed 1,400. So it's I'm mostly caught up. I don't need to fuel that hard the rest of the day. Just a normal amount. I'm gonna have oatmeal with protein powder right now. So I think next week will be the last week in the block. We'll go, this week was 17 hours, next week somewhere 15 or above. Maybe a little longer on the long run. And then after next week, we'll take a deload week. Let the body reset a little bit, absorb the fitness. Probably got back from my long run 10 minutes ago. Just took a quick shower. Oatmeal's still cooking up. It's actually looking really good. I'm gonna show you what I do to part of my recovery process. So, it was pretty hot out there. I need to drink a lot. These sugar-free lemonade packets, very low calorie, makes your water delicious. It keeps you hydrated. It's worth it. Oh, I put a lot in though. Maybe a little too much. Okay. Next, this is the recovery for the foot. This is my slant board. I used to get calf cramps all the time.
by using this slant board, I was able to mitigate them. When I first started running, every night I would wake up with Charlie horses in both calves. I should do this after every run, but normally after my long run I try to do it. I won't run again today or tomorrow, so if I can have loose calves for the next 2 days or so and not have them all tight and seized up while they're recovering, I think it makes a big difference. I will probably be going to hit legs this afternoon. I'll be doing probably a lunge variation, back extension, some calf work, and some core. But as you can see, that is all these different notches. You can adjust it however you want. I've only ever made it to the 3rd notch, but most of the time I'm on that 1st notch, especially after a run. They get really tight. The setup, got the oatmeal, just cooling down a little bit. Watching a little bit of Colt Hawker in compression boots. Post long run. I think this is what dreams are made of. I think I've made it in life. It doesn't really get better than this. This is pretty peak.